was not in, and those of you who love and respect social crossover will be happy to know that so unfortunately namhlanje it just couldn't happen like that, but the show must go on. Moment of Truth is here, and we'll be doing this until 12 o'clock together when Upiwe Amanda Gatsiba finally takes over at 12 and says, "Hey, True, get out of here, man. Give me my studio." And of course, I'll have to comply because, hey, we're doing this as a team. You know what else we're doing as a team? We're going to Cape Town together. Hitting the road, Jack. Hitting the road and doing it in absolute fashion. Your moment of truth will be there. The social crossover will be there. The invasion will be there. And the urban evolution will be there. All four of these programs proudly brought to you and powered by Keith Ngesi Radio. As we make our way on the garden route all the way up, you will guide us as to where and when you would like us to encounter you. And if we can make our way that way, we'd love to see you. You guys have been nothing but a great support, and we love the fact that we get an opportunity to come and bring the show to you. Let's start somewhere in space. China's Yuta-2 rover has spotted a mystery house on the far side of the moon. A strange cube was spotted on the horizon around 80 meters from the rover's location in the Von Karman crater in November, next to an impact crater. Yuta-2 will spend the next 2 or 3 months moving across the crater to get a closer look at the object, which is more likely to be a large boulder than anything else. Mystery House is a placeholder name referenced by their space, a Chinese science outreach channel affiliated with the National Chinese Space Administration. So it's not an obelisk or aliens, but certainly something to check out. Hard to discern much from the image. However, but large boulders are sometimes excavated by impacts, space journalist Jones tweeted. We'll have to see about that. So Yuta-2 and the Chang'e 4 lander first reached the moon in 2019, becoming the first man-made craft to ever drive across the far side of our closest natural satellite. As of May this year, the rover has traveled over 700 meters across the moon's surface and can reach a speed of 200 meters per hour in its 6 wheels. According to the state media, the rover also carried some cotton seeds that attempted to grow the first life form on the far side of the moon, as well as soil, rock cress, grapeseed, and potato seed, yeast, and fruit fly eggs. They're trying their luck out to see what can happen if we can plant some life out there. Careful, guys. We've seen this movie before. Parts of Deep Kloof in Soweto will have to do without electricity, as Eskom says it cut off power recently, which led to angry residents to take to the streets on Monday morning, blockading roads using rubble and burning tires. Eskom has now finally shed some light on the matter. The power utility says it was forced to disconnect power from the area due to several factors, mainly illegal connections, meter bypassing, and customer buying electricity from ghost vendors. Now, the power utility conducted what is known as a network audit, which is a standard practice aimed at managing energy losses and improve revenue collection in its areas of supply across Gauteng. During this process, illegal connections are removed, the network is secured, and any damages to the infrastructure is repaired, and reconnection fees are issued to customers found to be in contravention, as is the case with the Deep Kloof Zone 3. Now, Eskom says approximately 700 customers in Deep Kloof, Soweto, were disconnected and issued a reconnection fee of 6,052 Rand 52 cents. For non-payment of electricity. Supply will then be restored once the reconnection fee has been settled. In the past 8 months, Eskom has lost revenue of approximately 96 million Rand in the area of Deep Kloof alone, where customers' buying trends are dismally low since their conversion from postpaid to prepaid, which were installed to assist them to make better control of their electricity consumption. Now, Eskom spokesperson Amanda Qiti, Eskom Gauteng says it met with the city of Johannesburg on Monday morning and with the aiming of establishing relations with the metro's newly elected mayor Mpho Phalatse. According to the utility, several matters were under discussion, including the increase of theft and vandalism of Eskom's infrastructure, challenges experienced by the power utility, and what's happening inside Deep Kloof. So, while the Department of Transport and its stakeholders continue to debate the issues of e-tolls, Gauteng Health has spent around 1 million rand on e-tolls since January last year. According to the Gauteng Health MEC, Nomathemba Mokgethi, officials have spent 1,064,420 rand on e-tolls. She said the department has no outstanding e-toll payments except 65,000 rand for a current invoice in the process. The revelations were made in a written response to questions put forward by the DA in the Gauteng legislature. It was further revealed that the e-tolls in Gauteng, which were launched 8 years ago, have cost department more than 4 million rand over this entire period. The DA spokesperson on health, Jack Bloom, said despite David Makura's frequent promises that the e-tolls would be scrapped, they remain an unnecessary expense for government departments and those businesses that still pay them, although most motorists don't. There is no sense in continuing the e-tolls as the collection costs outweigh the money that is brought in. There is no definite decision on whether the e-tolls will be continued or scrapped. The Minister of Transport, Fikile Mbalula, told the cabinet that there are a number of factors to consider in the process of finalizing the GFIP, which is the Gauteng Freeway Improvement Project. He says it is not simply a matter of scrapping and not scrapping, despite the overwhelming demand to scrap. The matter of e-tolls is receiving priority attention by the cabinet and will be finalized soon. The minister said that the final determination is about how best to carry the burden of the Gauteng Freeway Improvement Project while maintaining these roads in a pristine condition. We agree, the Minister of Finance, that the announcement of the final decision will be made during the budget speech in February 2022. So that announcement we are waiting with the motorists are waiting for it with bated breath, given the fact that there are people who are paying, companies, etc., government departments, and then the motorists are saying, we were told this thing is scrapped. We are not paying a cent. But is it worthwhile to have this system or not? The Department of Education, Basic Education, said that it's pleased with the matric examination process having finally wrapped up without any major incidents. The class of 2021 wrote their last National Senior Certificate exam on Monday. The department says there were no worrying events which could have compromised the 5-week-long matric exams. Apart from the reported incidents of some candidates caught with crib notes and cell phones, there are no confirmed reports of serious irregularities at this stage that could threaten the credibility, integrity, and image of the examinations as a whole, says the department's spokesperson, Elijah Mhlanga. The matric exam started on the 27th of October, which was written in 6,326 public examination centers, 526 independent centers, 326 designated centers, and close to 90,000 candidates were registered for the exams, 735,677 full-time candidates, 162,109 part-time candidates. The department put in place various measures to assist in safeguarding the examinations and the various points. The department thanks all learners, teachers, and school management teams for the resilience they have shown in the braving the pandemic, with a single goal of ensuring that the class of 2021 receives optimum support. We continue as we look more into our current affairs. I'm sorry I killed Hani. I now reject apartheid and have gone back to my Catholic roots, says Yanis Wallace. These revelations were listed in the papers filed to the Constitutional Court earlier this year when he applied for the Apex Court to look into his last failed bid to get parole in March 2020. Which had been denied by Justice Minister Ronald Lamola. Wallace wants the Constitutional Court to set aside the Supreme Court of Appeals dismissal and leave to appeal against the High Court judgment that upheld the refusal of his parole. Wallace's legal team shared the papers after last week's affirmation by the Concord that it would hear the matter in February 2022. In a lengthy affidavit, Wallace detailed how, since the incarceration in October 2003, he was a reformed man who has, over the years, tried numerous times to convey his apology to Hani's widow, Limpo, and his wife and children. I have already in the application papers apologized for the crime that I committed, and I have apologized to the Hani family, and I've done everything that I could to show remorse and communicate my apology to the family. I have great remorse in respect of what I've done. I realized today that it was completely unacceptable. Ever since my incarceration, I have returned to my Roman Catholic faith, which has helped me fully understand my wrongdoings. I have accepted the new SA, its constitution, and its constitutional dispensation, Wallace said. He and right-wing politician Clive Derby-Lewis were sentenced to death for murdering Chris Hani. The SA Communist Party Secretary General Hani was shot outside his home in Boksburg in April 10, 1993. Derby-Lewis and Wallace sentences were later commuted to life imprisonment when SA abolished the death penalty. Derby-Lewis, who had allegedly ordered the hit carried out by Wallace, was granted medical parole in 2015 and died the following year of cancer. The now 68-year-old Wallace, who is incarcerated at the Kgosi Mampuru 2 correctional facility, said his time behind bars had led him to having interactions with Black people. This, he said, has given him a better understanding of them. He says. I have a lot of interactions with many different people of different races in prison and have come to realize that apartheid was wrong and that all persons are born equal, and racism is something I reject in any form. Finally, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and Senegalese President Macky Sall have expressed their displeasure towards rich countries over travel bans imposed on them since the country announced the discovery of a new coronavirus variant, which is Omicron. This was during the opening of the 7th edition of the Dakar International Forum on Peace and Security in Africa. Senegalese President Macky Sall called for the unity amongst leaders at a time like this in order to fight the pandemic. He said we must continue to work together in solidarity. This pandemic, which is affecting all of our countries, must bring us together on the side of solidarity. We must stand together in our response instead of adding a new divide between rich and poor countries. Ramaphosa tasked rich countries to rather help finding a solution to the global crisis, but not to punish the poor nations. And that brings to us the end of our immediate current affairs approach. And we have more coming up. Also, the Source Code, an eatery from East London. They are coming in today to tell us a little bit about their journey, what they do, why they make everything from scratch, which I've heard, and also, you know, what you can look forward to from them. Later on in the program at 11:40 on the Power Moment, we'll be talking with Sammy Bronze. He's got a new single with Kid X. The song is called Dust. You don't want to miss out on any of it. Stay tuned. Cape Town, we're on the way.
We are extraterrestrial.